Now, there are two sides to every story, two sides to every trade. And don't get me wrong, I am incredibly grateful and appreciative of the gift that the Oakland Raiders gave my Chicago Bears and Khalil Mack. Thank you. Oh, sweet Jesus, thank you. Incredible stuff. But it does beg the question, what the hell are the Oakland Raiders doing? What are they doing? You don't want to pay Khalil Mack, who's the best draft pick you've had, you could argue, in freaking decades, but you're willing to give $100 million to a guy who spent his last almost decade in the television booth, who ultimately won his championship with Tony Dungy's team and Tony Dungy's players. Let's never forget that. You're willing to give $100 million to that unproven commodity, especially in the modern game, but a proven commodity that actually makes a difference on the field, you don't want to pay top dollar to. This makes absolutely no sense. Like, you spend all this time trying to develop talent, and first and most importantly of all, going through your scouting process, which is a year-long cycle, a year-long process to try and identify studs, try to identify difference makers. And then when you find one, like Khalil Mack, your franchise player, and Derek Carr can kiss everybody's ass. Khalil Mack was the franchise player. He was the best player on that team, and everybody damn good and well knows it. And that Raiders rebuild that kicked off in 2014 started with Khalil Mack, not freaking Derek Carr, period. No insult to Carr, but we all know what the truth is. So you spend all this time trying to find a guy like that. Got fortunate in that 2014 draft where Khalil Mack falls into your lap at 5 anyways, to now 4 years later, Khalil Mack being everything you could have imagined he could be and so much more. Just basically counting down the clock until he goes to Canton someday. And you can't wait to get rid of him. Could you imagine being a head coach like John Gruden after being gone from the game almost a decade and seeing the Oakland Raiders roster, seeing that your two most valuable commodities are Khalil Mack and Derek Carr, and saying to yourself, you know what, that's probably a pretty good reason to take that job, so I'll take it because they'll be idiotic enough to pay me $100 million guaranteed reasons to give a crap for the next decade, even though I'll never see the end of that contract. But I want to trade the best player that I have. Because it worked for Jimmy Johnson with Herschel Walker, I'm sure I could do, yeah, and you can't do shit. Sit down. Like listen to this. I'm going to quote Reggie McKenzie here when talking about the Khalil Mack situation. This is laughable. When talking about top players and top free agents, he says, we will pay top dollar. No, you won't. We couldn't get around to giving Khalil what he wanted. We will pay top dollar to top players. No, you paid top dollar to Derek Carr. You did not pay top dollar to a top player. Khalil Mack is a top player. You freckle-faced fuckstick! How in the hell do you allow Khalil Mack to leave in any way, shape, or form? This deal should have long since already been done. That's what competent organizations and smart general managers would have done. You would have never even allowed it to get to this point. You would have got it done a year damn ago like the hell I said you should have. But no, you just couldn't do that, could you? I continue. We just could not get it worked out with Khalil. When it seemed like it was going that way, we decided to make a move with the trade. We will be able to attract players. We'll find a way to continue to play good football. We're not worried about the outside perception of free agency. Good, because the outside perception of you absolutely sucks right now. We will get free agents in here when it's time to do that, and we will keep our own. Sometimes you can't keep them all. That's just the way it goes. Well, no shit, you can't keep them all. You have to make decisions and tough choices sometimes. But I guarantee you anybody with a brain would try their best to figure out a way to keep Khalil Mack. Oh, you'll be able to get free agents. Yeah, you'll get third-tier guys that you're stupid enough to pay second or even first-tier money to. That's technically getting free agents, yes, but not the type and the quality that you might expect. Like, imagine being a free agent and saying to yourself, this organization was stupid enough to trade away Khalil Mack when he hasn't even truly entered the prime of his career. And he's been the type of stud that he's been, a unanimous multiple position all-pro even one year, and not even playing his damn natural position all the time. I can't imagine a freaking free agent looking at that and be like, hey, that's something I want. It's like, this team is going to be perfect for Vegas. Go there. You have a bunch of money. You go there with certain intentions, lose your ass, and then you wonder what happens. This team is perfect for Vegas, and this is exactly what the hell Raiders fans have got to be feeling like. Waking up the other day and be like, what the fuck just happened? I don't know what the hell happened either. And this whole thing about draft pick currency. Yes, championship teams are built through the draft. Yes, it is great to have valuable draft pick currency. But it does not make any sense to do that when the decision makers in charge don't know what the hell they're doing. And if you are the type of organization that thinks it's a good idea to trade a guy like Khalil Mack because you do not have the cash up front to be able to pay him because you paid John Gruden $100 million like morons, now what the hell type of confidence should you have that this team is going to get the most out of this trade? The same Raiders, with Gruden really calling the shots and running the show, let's be serious, that massively reached for their first two picks in this year's draft, right? When you look at the recent Raiders draft history, Khalil Mack, all-pro, gone. Derek Carr, paid like an all-pro, he ain't one. Amari Cooper, a number 2 wide receiver masquerading and pretending to be a number 1. What the hell have they really done? And what the hell would make any Raiders fan confident in this organization whatsoever to say, I have full faith that they'll be able to take these draft picks and turn them into something valuable? And then to top it all off, you have to give up a second and 5th round pick along with Khalil Mack in order to get the 2 first and a future 3rd round pick? You couldn't even hold the Bears' nuts to the fire all the way. You just kind of sauteed them a little bit. You got the undercarriage singed, and that's all. Not to mention, assuming the Khalil Mack trade's going to work, the Bears probably will be in the playoffs the next 2 years, you would think, or at least one of the next 2 years, which means one, if not both of those picks, is in the 20s, if not potentially the 30s. And how often do you get true studs and difference makers that late in the draft? And especially if you're a Raiders fan, a team that just reached massively for Kolton Miller at 15. You have confidence that they're going to be able to get studs and contributors and impact players and difference makers with those picks. Are you insane? No, Raiders fans are far too smart to fall for that crap. And you know what's probably so stupid about it? What's so stupid about it is one of those first 2 picks, one of those 2 first-round picks, will probably be spent on an edge defender. What in the blue fucks is going on here, Reggie McKenzie, John Gruden? Dig dog dumb dicks. You already had an elite difference maker, and you say, well, the defense was not that great with them there. Do you think that could have anything to do with the fact that you built a crappy team around your franchise player and your stud defender? How the hell do you think it's going to get any better? You don't get the chance at true difference makers, true impact players, true Hall of Famers every day. And to allow that guy to leave in any way, shape, or form or fashion is the height of sheer unadulterated stupidity. Stupidity! Stupidity! Enjoy more last place finishes and irrelevance, Oakland Raiders. You fucking deserve it, you numbskulls. How stupid could you be?